Silas was a good man. He was 50 years old. He had worked at the Oak Haven mill for 25 years. It was a steady job, a good job. Then, one Monday morning, the mill closed. Just like that. No warning. Silas lost his job. His whole world felt like it tilted sideways. He lived in Harmony Creek, a small southern town. Everybody knew everybody else's business, you see. His wife, Darlene, well, she didn't take it too well. She said she married a man with prospects, not a man without a paycheck. She said she needed more excitement. More than Harmony Creek or Silas could offer anymore. So, one Tuesday, she packed her floral suitcases, left a little note on the Frigidaire. It said, "Gone to find myself, don't wait up." Silas's heart just about broke in two. It was a short note and not very sweet at all. The old farmhouse felt terribly empty after that. His footsteps echoed on the wooden floors. The silence was louder than any noise. Bills started showing up in the mailbox. They piled up on the kitchen table, like uninvited kinfolk who planned to stay too long. Silas felt a heavy weight pressing down on him. It settled in his shoulders and in his soul. He missed Darlene sometimes, but mostly, he missed his old simple life. He'd spend hours on the front porch swing, just swaying back and forth, real slow, watching the cars go by on the main road. He felt like a ghost in his own hometown. Folks would wave, but it felt like they were looking through him. He knew he had to do something, anything to keep his head above water. But what could a 50-year-old former mill worker do? The future looked as gray and bleak as a November sky. He needed a little bit of hope, and quick. First, Silas tried selling encyclopedias. He answered an ad in the local paper. "Earn big money," it had declared in bold letters. He had to go door to door. Folks weren't much interested in big, heavy books. Most said they had the internet now. Silas didn't even own one of those computer things. He lugged those books in the summer heat, got more doors slammed in his face than kind words. He felt like a tired old hound dog, chasing a train he couldn't catch. Then he saw a sign waiver wanted. It was at the new car wash, Sudsy Sam's. The job involved wearing a giant hot dog costume. Yes, a hot dog, bun and all, standing by the highway in the Alabama sun, waving at cars trying to lure them in. Little kids in car seats would point and giggle. One afternoon, his own cousin Earl drove by. Earl pretended he didn't see Silas in that silly suit. Oh, the humiliation burned hotter than the asphalt. He even tried telemarketing for a short spell, selling pet insurance, specifically cat insurance. Silas was always more of a dog man himself. He had to read from a script, word for word. "Good evening, are your feline friends fully covered?" Most people just hung up the phone. Sometimes they weren't very polite about it either. His supervisor said he sounded too downhearted. Well, truth be told, he downhearted. This just wasn't him, none of it. One evening, Silas felt lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut. He was sitting by the duck pond, tossing stale bread to the mallards. Then a young fella zipped by on a bright green scooter. He had a square bag on his back, delivering a pizza, whistling a cheerful tune. A little light bulb flickered on in Silas's mind. Food delivery. It wasn't the mill, that was for sure. But it was something. Maybe, just maybe, it was a chance to get moving again. So Silas took what little money he had left. He bought a used scooter from old Mr. Abernathy. It was a cheerful cherry red. He polished it up until it gleamed. Named it the Crimson Comet, which made him chuckle. He got a couple of those insulated delivery bags, and he signed up for a food delivery app on a borrowed phone. Felt a bit strange at first, he had to admit. A man his age zipping around town, delivering cheeseburgers and fried chicken, but work was work. His very first delivery was to Mrs. Agnes Higgins. She'd been his Sunday school teacher years ago, lived in a little yellow house with blue shutters. She opened the door, her eyes wide with surprise. "Silas, is that you, dear boy?" she exclaimed. She was so kind, so genuinely pleased to see him. Gave him a generous tip, bless her heart, and a warm slice of her famous pecan pie. Said he was a true lifesaver that evening. Silas felt a tiny spark ignite inside him, a little bit of pride. He started to learn the roads of Harmony Creek all over again. Not just the main streets, but all the hidden lanes. The quickest shortcuts, the houses with the tricky driveways. He met all sorts of people every day. Some were grumpy, tapping their feet impatiently. Some were so happy their faces lit up. Many were lonely, just glad for a friendly face. He'd offer a kind word, a genuine smile. People really seemed to appreciate that little extra. He wasn't just delivering food, he was delivering a little bit of comfort. Sometimes the job was downright tough. rainy days that soaked him to the bone, late nights when the town was asleep and spooky, dogs that barked like they wanted a piece of him, and oh, those wrong addresses on dark country roads. But Silas, he just kept on going. He persevered. He kind of liked being his own boss in a way. He liked the freedom of the open road on the Crimson Comet. The wind in his slightly thinning hair felt good. He was surviving, and that felt pretty darn good indeed. One busy Friday night, a real special order came through. It was for the mayor, no less. Mayor Thompson. He was hosting a big charity dinner at his home. Their fancy caterer had apparently bailed at the last minute, left them high and dry with a house full of hungry guests. Silas got the urgent call. He had to pick up dishes from 3 different restaurants all across town. It was a complicated order, a real challenge. Silas took a deep breath. I can do this, he told himself. He felt a sense of mission, a purpose. He zipped through Harmony Creek on the Crimson Comet. Like a seasoned pro, he was. He knew exactly where to go, how to manage the time. He made sure all the food stayed piping hot. Arrived at the mayor's grand house right on the dot. The mayor's wife, a lovely woman named Beatrice, looked frazzled, but her face flooded with relief when she saw Silas. "You've saved our party," she declared, clutching her pearls. The mayor himself came out, shook Silas's hand firmly, called him a true Harmony Creek hero. Silas actually blushed. A hero? Him? That night, driving home under the starry sky. Something just clicked inside Silas, like a lock opening. He wasn't just some down-on-his-luck fellow anymore. He wasn't just a delivery guy either. He was good at this, really good. People relied on him, depended on his service. He brought them more than just meals. He brought them comfort, a bit of joy, good food. He thought about his dear mama's cooking, how her fried chicken and collard greens made everyone feel loved. An idea began to simmer. Silas started saving every extra dime from his tips. He put it in an old coffee can under his bed. He started dreaming a little dream, a big dream. Maybe, just maybe, he could start his own little food business. Not a fancy restaurant, nothing like that. Silas's Southern Comfort Deliveries, he thought. Home-cooked meals for folks who were too busy, or too tired, or too lonely to cook for themselves. He smiled a genuine, wide smile. He was no longer jobless Silas. He was Silas, the food delivery hero. And his future, well, it looked mighty delicious.